Phil, well played this evening. Just seen you put down there amongst your boots and your tracksuit a bottle of champagne, and thoroughly well deserved this evening for a great performance. You're pleased with that?
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to have a good performance like. It's showing what our sort of intent is, because we come away with a 1-1 draw, a little bit disappointing from one of the best teams in the league supposedly. So yeah, it's sort of disappointing, but it keeps the points going.
There were some thoughts there, one or two of us, in the 92nd minute when Forest Green got a corner. It was almost impossible not to think back to Eastleigh. But it's a different Aldershot now. We're growing, we're learning by the game, aren't we? Sam Hatton up, strong header away, and then Jaden foul. But going back to earlier on in the match, in the first half was a relatively quiet for yourself. A competitive game, but not too many goalmouth incidents in the first half an hour, and then shots really finished that. A little 15-minute spell there, which must have been a pleasure even for you in the goal to stand and watch. Yeah,
I mean, like you say, first half we sort of we limited them to shots under pressure at the edge of the box, and we coped with them really well. You're coming at half time thinking they haven't really troubled us at all. Obviously, you can't really rest on that, and you know that with the quality that they do have up front, that you've got to be wary that there is always a chance that they're going to get through, which they did in the second half. But I think even coming on from Eastleigh and that, the way we've defended has been good again. I think even though we was under pressure in the second half, we still had chances to go forward and still look threatening ourselves, which is another step forward. We had a lot of chances against Eastleigh. We had a lot of chances. Attacking wise, we looked very strong against Eastleigh. You look very strong, I think, again tonight. We've had a corner right at the death as well. So there's still chances for us to get 3 points out of the game. And then we've defended resolutely at the end anyway.
And the centre halves in front of you tonight had their work cut out, didn't they? Marking those two fellas. You occasionally come up against a big, strong target man in this league. It's very rare you come up against two like John Parkin and Lee Hughes.
Yeah, and they've got quality. They're not just big lads. They've got quality. They've proven it over their careers. So, I said to Joe after the game, I said, well done. That's a tough game to play in. So, the pair of them have done really well. Kept them quiet really for most of the game, and that won't happen, too often this season for those. They'll work hard and they'll get chances and they'll punish teams. So, looking back on it, we're, I think, coming out with a point of a draw and a good performance. It's a positive thing for us.
And the fact that we're talking about that last-minute corner that they had where they might have nicked a winner and they didn't. I mean, let's not forget some of the key elements of that game. Shots had a good, strong, fast. I think first half, I think everyone agreed we deserved to be a goal up with Brett's penalty. But second half, credit to Forest Green. They were a little bit more thrust about them with their attacks. They got the ball in over the top a few times, and that called you into play. What can you remember about? I think it was the three kind of point-blank saves you made. The first one was from Lee Hughes going through.
Yeah, I mean it was an awkward ball because it's come sort of over his shoulder, and it's, from my view, it's bouncing in front of him, so I can't really gauge how far away from the ball he is. So you don't want to come rushing out in case if it's bouncing, it's just an easy lob over you. So I tried to hold my ground and sort of got a little bit caught in no man's land. And I think he didn't really get great contact on it, and he was able to get my hand on it.
It's just an instinctive reaction of your hand, wasn't it? It literally hit your hand, dropped down, and then it was as if you were like a little basketball player.
Yeah, you just try and make yourself, bigger there, and hope that you close the angle enough that any decent shot they get away, you sort of got covered, and luckily it's come off me left hand.
So you kept that one out. Could have only been 3, 4, 5 minutes later. Rob Sinclair comes through against you one-on-one. And this time you've got away to your right. Was it a matter of guessing where he was going, or did you just wait your moment?
A little bit of both. It sort of looked like that's the way he was going to go. So I sort of gambled a bit. And lucky enough, you got good contact on it, but lucky enough it was there anyway.
Now that went out for a corner, and we know what happened from that. We've talked about Lee Hughes' movement and his header. I just wonder from your position in goal, how you saw that. I mean, obviously you can't do anything about Lee pulling off his man and getting that header in, but it was a bullet header.
It was a good header, and he's around that sort of near post area. You sort of get a bit caught out as a goalkeeper because you can't go flying into the near post, because if he doesn't, you don't know really not very often someone flies into the near post and they're looking to flick it on from them sort of corners. You don't want to fly into the near post and then you're knackered going to the far post for the flick on. So sort of try and get in the middle, but it was a decent header, a lot of pace on the ball, into the box. So those two things combined makes it a good header, and you sort of struggling to keep it out.
And just a final word about yourself. Enjoying your football. Nice to be number one at the moment and playing week in, week out.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lovely place to play. The pitch is great. The support's been brilliant. Home and away has been, it's a lot more than I was expected really. And they've been brilliant. And it's just the lads are great, the manager's great. It's just I feel happy and be able to grow in confidence and to get some game time.
Phil, when you sign on a free transfer from someone like Portsmouth where you didn't perhaps get the game time you'd have liked, does that make you more determined to do well for your next club, which is of course Aldershot Town?
I don't think it makes me more determined. I've always wanted to do well. You always want to play and you always want to do well. You don't want to be somebody that people don't want around because they don't think you're good enough. So I always want to do well, whether I'm playing or not playing. I always want to do well. But to be able to play and do well playing is obviously the main idea. And it's great to come here and to a good club to play for, league or non-league, and hopefully do really well. That's the main thing for me. Yeah.
It's always nice as a goalkeeper to have a trusty back four, and you did that today, of course, against the likes of Lee Hughes and John Parkin. The back four were very well organised, and that must help you as a goalkeeper. Yeah,
definitely. Over time, it's going pretty well so far, but over time you hope that the trust builds between us all. I trust the back four, they trust me. And then from that you can build, a working relationship that can take you forward and bring you success. I think it's started off really well so far. You don't want to tempt fate, but I think we're definitely going in the right direction. And two centre halves done great tonight, and they have been so far all season. And Jaden and Barks, unfortunately Barks come off, but Tom's come in and done really well. Great header at the end, important header at the end. So it's everything's looking positive so far.
Going back briefly on what Rob said about the 3 great saves you made, when you sort of save the first one, the second one, do you sort of feel when the third one's coming, this isn't going in, I'm going to save it?
You like to hope, but that obviously was short-lived because they got the goal straight away. But you do feel like feel positive and think this could be a night where I can be difficult to beat, and you hope that that sort of kills their confidence a little bit, that they think that they can't get the strike that they need. So yeah, you feel like it could be, and you hope that you could keep them out, but unfortunately it didn't quite work out that way.
And quickly now we move on to Torquay. What are your thoughts on Torquay United on Monday?
It'll be a tough game. Bank holiday, we've got a bit of an advantage because we've got an extra day's rest. So hopefully that will, it's a tough period around the bank holiday. Tired legs. So another tough test. They'll be a decent team, but the way things are going, we can keep the ball rolling. We can get something out of the game. We'll be more than happy.
Brilliant. Cheers, Phil. Well played.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time.